Hi guys, Eleventh here, and thanks for stopping by my channel, Everything Spiritual. Today I'm going to do an astrology reading for the month of September. Now when doing this astrology reading, I'm going to use the 12 houses. And the 12 houses basically define different areas of your life. And I will go over the houses as I go through the reading. So the two decks I'm going to be using today are, the first deck is the Energy Oracle deck by Sandra Ann Taylor, and the other deck that I'm going to be using is the Aleister Crowley Thor Tarot deck. So to do this reading, I've already prepped the cards. For time's sake, I've already prepped the cards. And I'm going to lay out 12 cards. And each card is going to represent an astrological house. And then I'll tell you what that house is and what portion of your life it affects. So I'm going to go ahead and lay out 12 cards to represent each one of the houses. A lot of times when astrology readings are done, they're done by the person's astrology sign, their zodiac sign. Each sign is matched with a planet or the moon or the sun. So those are the 12 tarot cards that I'm going to be using for this reading. All right, now I'm going to use the oracle cards as clarifiers for each of the tarot cards. There are a lot of cards here that are in the reverse, which is interesting. I'll address those as I go along. I went ahead and adjusted the cards and placed the tarot on top of the oracle so that I could run through this pretty quickly. I generally am aiming at keeping all of my videos around 10 minutes. All right, let's get started. The first house of the 12 astrological houses is the house that shows what people see when they look at you, what their impressions are of you. It's basically how others see you or how you present yourself to others. So here we have the Seven of Swords. Let me set this to the side here. The Seven of Swords is a card that deals with discouragement or fear. In the original tarot, the Seven of Swords is a card of deception. Here, for the first house, the message is that this person or someone is all tied up worrying about what other people think of them. You shouldn't concern yourself with how other people's opinions of you are, because it's just that an opinion. It's not a fact or a reality. They are consumed with worrying about what other people think of them. And as you see the card here, this woman is all tied up. She's held, bound. So that's the message for the first house. The second house represents your assets, finances, and things that you value. Here you have the Empress, which generally is a card of nurturing, abundance, wisdom, motherly, feminine abundance or wisdom. Your clarifying card is the Archangel Michael, and it's in reverse. When this card is in an upright position, it means stability and security. So when this card is in the reverse, it's saying that you have blockages to your financial stability and security. And this is also referring to your root chakra. And your root chakra is your foundation. It keeps you grounded. And it's where your survival techniques are stored. Earning abilities at this time are for the month of September are blocked. Now let's go to the third house. Third house, you have the Chariot. The Chariot is a very positive card. It's a sign of changes for the better and new beginnings. And then you have the fourth chakra is generally about love, compassion, forgiveness, and self-acceptance. So someone in their third house, they're making a change for the better regarding their potential, their ability to learn. They're changing their way they communicate. This may be someone who is making a change in their career or education. Place of acceptance where they are in their life, and they're ready to change for the better. That's going to overall benefit you in the long run. Your fourth house deals with your home, either your physical home or an emotional home, your bases, your roots, your foundation. It's where you receive your nurturing. And here you have the card, the number 2 card. This is a 2 of coins. Here in this deck, it's called the 2 of discs. This card is all about change and transformation. You take this card and you clarify it with the supporting card, which is financial constraints in the reverse. It means an increase in money, financial freedom, and maybe just overall value. When the card is upright, as you see, it shows an old, it looks like a safe that has 2 coins in it, maybe a ledger and a bunch of cobwebs. Basically, it's financially depleted. But when it's in the reverse, it means the opposite. So someone's fourth house is indicating that they're either going to be able to purchase a new home, do some home improvements, some upgrades. They're going to make a change in their physical home for the better. Now let's move to the 5th house. The 5th astrological house. The 5th astrological house is the area of your life that covers where you have fun, romance, you're able to have self-expression and creativity, of stagnation, obstruction, and emotional blockages. And since we're dealing with matters of the heart, it can also be a card indicating that you need to let go of old behavior patterns, and where you may direct your love towards someone who doesn't reciprocate it, or they don't give it back to you. The clarifying card we have for this particular card is yin and yang. And this, of course, is a card of balance. You have to have great receptivity. So basically, whatever you give out, you should receive back. And it's also a card of contemplation and reflection. It's a time to contemplate and think about the old behavior patterns that you have and how to balance those out. This also may be a sign that you have a fear of accepting love from other people. But again, this Spread is suggesting that now's the time for you to bring balance to those feelings and behaviors. Now, moving on to the 6th house. The 6th house represents the area in your life of work, health, and duty, or service. Your service to the environment, possibly doing your life service. Now, here you have the Ace of Swords card. The Ace of Swords is generally a time of when someone receives intellectual clarity or clear thinking from divine, from spirit, from your higher power. As you can see, the sword is set in front of the clouds. There are clouds around it. That could be the sun. And then you have the crown of wisdom. So this card is saying that regarding to your work and health and service, that you have come to the point of clarity. This is also a card that can indicate that you have, through prayer and meditation, gotten a clarity of mind, the presence of mind to know which direction to take in those areas of your life. Now, here you have the Healer of the Ages card as your clarifying card. And this basically is a card of profound healing. This can be a portrait or an example of whomever your higher power is, your supreme being. These cards go hand in hand because you have the clarity that's coming, the intellectual clarity, the original thinking that's coming from the divine. And here you have the Healer of all ages clarifying, saying that whatever you need to improve your work conditions or improve your health through your prayer and meditation and connection to your source, you will have those changes made. You'll be able to make those improvements. You'll be able to do a better self-analysis of yourself. You'll be able to have more self-discipline. Now, moving on to the 7th house. The 7th astrological house deals with the areas in your life pertaining to long-term relationships, significant relationships. It can be friendships, partnerships, a business relationship, or even a marriage. The tarot card that you have for the 7th house is the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords in original tarot generally means something is done, it's over, it's dead, stick a fork in it. Here you have the card of ruin in the Aleister Crowley deck. And there's a little broken heart there. There's a little broken heart there in ruin. So in regards to relationships, this is clearly about relationships. Someone's 7th house is going to be a breakup, a parting of ways. And it could be a friendship, but most likely maybe it's a romantic relationship or even a marriage. This is saying that this person has the fear, the fear of being let down. It's anger, it's negative thinking. Now, the clarifying card is the Patience card. The Patience card, as you can see, there's a woman looking like a Mother Time, and anytime you're dealing with time, you have to be patient. The Patience card is saying that although you're hurting now, although your heart is broken now, if you be patient and have a positive, laid-back mentality, this situation will come to pass. And just stay present. And there's nothing to fear but fear itself. So moving on to our 8th house. The 8th astrological house covers the area in your life where there's transformation. This house is about regeneration, sexual activity shared assets with your partner, finances, and wills. So here you have the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands in traditional tarot generally means someone who's taking the higher ground. They're standing their ground. They're standing their moral ground. This is a card of valor. So it's also implying that you need to have courage and take a risk and not compromise possibly your happiness at this time. Now let's see what the clarifying card is for this card. The clarifying card is the Five, which is attachments. 5 generally means some type of conflict, loss, or confusion. But here you have the attachment card in reverse, and we're dealing with transformation. Now, when this card is upright, it means addictions and unhealthy attachments. This card is in the reverse. So in this instance, it's saying you have freedom from negative patterns and people, and and you have self-empowerment. So some of you out there in your 8th house, you have been able, you're able to let go of the attachments that once held you bound to an unhealthy relationship. You have the courage and you're ready to take a risk, and you're not willing to compromise on what you want. And now you have the ability to let go of the attachments that once held you bound to an unhealthy situation. Now moving on to the 9th house. The 9th astrological house. This house deals with the areas in your life pertaining to broadening your horizons, either spiritually or academically. It's suggesting a sense of higher mindedness, higher consciousness, possibly coming into your sense of self. Now the tarot card for the 9th house is the 10, which is the Wheel of Fortune. This card means there's new beginnings on the horizon for you. There's an expansion, a breakthrough, some type of self-realization that you're going to be going through right now. Now, the clarifying card for this house is the 7th chakra. This is Archangel Uriel. And this basically is confirming that you are connected with spirit and your intuition. So for some of those out there, your 9th house is urging you to broaden your horizon spiritually. Broaden your horizon spiritually. Or you may be on a long spiritual journey, but it's saying that you're going to have a breakthrough. You're going to receive unexpected fortune. Things are going to work out in your favor. For those of you that are on a spiritual journey of higher mindedness and consciousness. Now, going into the 10th house, this house represents your achievements, your status in life, your career, your professional reputation, your moral conditioning, your direction in life. So the card we have here is the 10 of Cups. The 10 of Cups generally means complete happiness. Whatever it is that makes you happy or fulfilled, that's what this card represents. It's satisfaction, fulfillment. It's letting things develop on their own and knowing that everything's going to come to you at the right time. So everyone out there, your 10th house is saying that you have achievements, satisfaction, and fulfillment on the way. Now, your clarifying card is the 6, which is contracts. And this card is in reverse. Now, when this card is in the upright, it means it's basically a legal commitment or some type of opportunity that's beneficial for you. When it's in the reverse, it means the opposite. This breaking of a contract, whether it could be an actual contract, or it can be a friendship, or it can be a disagreement, or it can be something that you committed to that now you no longer want to do. It's your 10th house is saying, go for it. That's going to bring you happiness. That's going to bring you joy to basically renege on whatever it is you committed on doing that you no longer want to do, that doesn't bring you happiness. Moving on to the 11th house. This house covers the area in your life this covers the area in your life where you feel your wishes are granted, where you just are lucky. This is also an area where you do joint activities with like-minded people of similar interest. It's pertaining to how you interact in a group setting with your friends, your social life. So here you have the Knight of Cups. And generally, this card is about love, an offering of love, commitment, compassion, or commitment and passion. Here it's saying that you're going to surrender. You're surrendering to your loved ones. You're basically doing things for people that make you happy. You have the capacity for giving. And also, this could be a spiritual relationship as well. But this card is saying also that some of you all out there, your 11th house is yearning for interchange with those people of like-mindedness. Now, the clarifying card we have here for the 11th house is that caring connections, friendships, partnerships, loving close relationships. So a lot of you out there in your 11th house, you have a lot of love, friendships, you're very socially active, and you have a lot of caring connections with the people that you spend time with and that you care about. Now, moving on to the last house, the 12th house. The 12th house represents the area in your life where there may be a sense of overwhelmment. It can also represent karma. What's happening to you now is a result of your past actions. It could also mean hidden support and also hidden limitations. Now, the card we have here is the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands in traditional tarot is a time of celebration and good times. Here, this is stating that now in your 12th house is a time of completion and possibly new beginnings. Everything has come full circle. Something good is making its way into your life right now. Looking at what the 12th house represents, this could possibly mean something as simple as ready to give in to something that's greater than yourself. Now, as far as it being as a result of your past actions or karma, your karmic debt could be paid because this is a card of completion. Now, let's clarify this card to get some more insight on it. The clarifying card you have here is 21, and it's strategy. And strategy is just that. It's the planning, the structure, it's thinking, it's planning. So, to bring this, the 12th house is an area in your life that is overwhelming. It could be the result of a karmic debt. It could be the result of your past actions. If you just stay the course and complete the course with a strategy, by your karmic debt becoming full circle, you're at a place for a new beginning. So guys, there you have it. This has been my September 12th house astrology reading. If you enjoyed the content of this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Until the next time, namaste.